And welcome back to another edition of All or Not According to Jack with your host, Jack Toledano. My guest this week for a dream set list is Mr. Aaron Kupferberg. How you doing, Aaron?
Good, good, Jack. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. I like your background there. Very
Thanks.
similar backgrounds, except you're holding a guitar and I'm not.
Right, you're behind. Your guitars are behind you. Mine, I'm holding it. But
Right.
that's
But
what it is.
But I do have one new thing. If you look in my bottom left there,
Yeah.
you notice I have Dom printed me some business cards, so now
Oh,
I have
very
business
nice.
cards for my channel. So uh,
Very good.
anybody runs into me on the street or at a concert, maybe if you're nice to me, I'll give you one. So
Hand him a card. That's very nice. Good promotion. Good way to
yeah,
promote.
there you go. Well, what's nice is it's got the QR code, so you can go right to my
Right to
right.
the YouTube channel.
Yep, yep.
Perfect. That's the way it's done. That's the way you're supposed to do it.
So in any event, what are you up to these days, Aaron?
Oh, I'm doing a lot of interviewing of artists right now and reviewing. I just finished a big interview with a Long Island band called the Lemon Twigs. I'm not sure you know heard of them. They're basically a pop band, but they made the cover of Rolling Stone not long ago, and so it was a big deal for me to actually talk to them and
Nice.
get their new album. And them and the Sins, and also Richard Davies of Cardinal, who is also playing with Guided by Voices. He's going on tour at Irving Plaza the end next month, and so I had a great chat with him as well. So I'm doing a lot of interviewing and still reviewing a lot of power pop and melodic rock.
And what about that website above your head?
That's the website. You want to visit my site. You want to see some of the reviews and the interviews. Go to that site, powerpopaholic.com, and you will get your fill of everything that I do.
Okay, that's very cool that you have that. Very nice. All right. So, as I said, tonight we are going to do a dream set list of Rush. Uh,
Rush, that's right.
Yeah, a
I,
band
I
that I have only seen once in my lifetime. Now, uh, they did a very good set list the night I went, but I figured definitely a good band to cover, and Aaron's going to be great with this. So let's have your set first.
sure. I'm going to start with an instrumental.
But before we do that,
Oh, okay.
what tour are we doing?
What tour would well,
Are
the
you doing?
tour is sort of like every all the albums up until 89. So this would be, I guess, the Presto tour.
Oh, okay.
So because I happen to love Rush from the 70s and the 80s. Pretty much when they hit the 90s, they kind of lost it for me a little bit. I listened to them less, but they have so many good songs. They sort of morphed from almost like a Zeppelin clone in their first album to something completely unique. And the thing I love about Rush the best, particularly in the 80s, is when everyone else was going electronic drum machines. Rush didn't do it. Neil Peart didn't do it. Nobody, they
Why
were
would you when you have a Neil Peart in your band?
right. Exactly. You got the best drummer on earth. Why would you even go anywhere else, or even try
Yeah,
to replace a person with? That's a perfect example of AI not working and having a human do it better.
right.
Um, you know. So the first song on my playlist is actually an instrumental called YYZ. And I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's got some great guitar work in it, and it's a little bit of prog as well.
Great everything. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
I love the bass. Neil's playing is fantastic.
absolutely. It's something that sets the mood for the whole playlist, and it just brings you into that whole Rush state of mind. I like to say.
Right.
After that is, throughout this list, I have sprinkled stuff that I grew up with, that we both grew up with. When it comes to Rush, there's a handful of songs that everybody who, even if you didn't know who Rush was, you heard it and you knew who it was. And that would be this title track, Fly By Night.
This is a this progression is the first progression I learned to play on guitar.
Really? Yeah,
Yes.
it's terrifically iconic song. It establishes the falsetto, and everything. It can't get, yeah, exactly. So you can't get better than that. I mean, as far as a signature sound, this is the album I feel even more than the first or the second album. This album really sort of set them apart from all the other bands in the era, in the mid '70s, particularly in rock. And it's just terrific. So after that on my list, again another sort of classic
Love this
Rush
album.
song from Farewell to Arms, 1977 there, Closer to the Heart.
Wow. You go
Really
from Fly
nice,
By Night
really,
to Closer to the Heart.
yeah.
Interesting.
And the great thing about Rush is they had a habit of starting out things light and simple before the heavy guitars would kick in, or it would
Right.
gradually kick in. Before you knew it, you had this massive amount of music and vocals and everything. So yeah, we're gonna be good. We don't want to get flagged by YouTube.
Yeah.
So after, I mean, another, but it's not the first Rush song I remember hearing. When I was, probably around 11 or 12, the first Rush song I heard growing up was. See, I'm not gonna find the right album right now. Right, I can't. But I'm sure you remember this one. Sub
Yeah, this is from Signals.
Signals, yes, this is Subdivisions, and it spoke to a high school audience because it talked about the cliques in high school,
Yes, yes. Or
and
do I know
everyone could
that?
identify with this at the time. So I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
this was a terrific album, as well as my introduction to Rush. So that's the first Rush song I heard. Another big song that I remember from. Oh, no, not from this one. No, not from that one. Let's
Yeah.
go back. Let's go back. The classic,
Oh,
Limelight.
love it.
Limelight basically is also another signature Rush song that everyone grew up with.
Wow, so
You
you're
couldn't
not
avoid
holding
the
their,
80s
their
without
biggest
hearing
hits
it.
back. Ju- you're just slamming them right in the audience's face in the
Right.
beginning, yeah?
Exactly. Exactly. Because we don't, when it comes to a playlist as opposed to a top 10 list, we don't we want to, hear some familiar stuff along with some more obscure stuff. But I happen to like a lot of their popular hits from this time, except for one. There's one very popular song that I don't like that Rush does. See if you can guess what it is. I'll give you a hint. It's a very popular song.
Tom Sawyer.
Very good. I can't stand the song. It's it's one of those songs that
Okay,
it's
spoiler alert, it's not in my set list either.
good, good. That's good to know. But the next song that I heard, which is on my list, is from this album, Permanent Waves.
Nice.
And this is another iconic Rush lick and Rush
Oh, yeah.
intro. And it's just the lyrics here are also really, really good.
Yeah. Credit to Neil for those great lyrics, yeah.
Everybody wanted to play this too growing up on the guitar.
Yes.
If you got a guitar when you were a kid, you wanted to play this.
I can't imagine that opening lick is easy by any stretch of the imagination.
No, people were like, "I give up. Let's play Yes instead." You
Yeah.
know. uh, but the next song on my list is actually we go back to their very first album, and the very first album, Rush from 1974, where they actually had a song that made sense. It still has a little bit of a Zeppelin-esque quality, but it's a quality song. It's a good song, and I really like hearing it once in a while. Working Man.
Okay. So now, how did you structure this? Is it all one set, and then and are there encores and
No, no. The way I structured it is I listened to stuff that was in their prime, in their
right?
80s prime that I really enjoyed in some of the early stuff. And then towards the bottom of the playlist, I played what I liked in the 90s era or the
Oh,
80s era. So I started with the mid 70s, moved into the 80s a little bit towards
and
the
that's and this is the actual running order of your show.
Yeah, this is the running order of the playlist. So
Okay.
I do have a section in between where we basically have some of the more atmospheric prog that Rush did. Rush, next to Genesis, Rush had some of the most beautiful prog stuff ever, developed and composed. So anyway, once I listened to Working Man, I said, you know what, let's go back to another hit from Permanent Waves that I enjoy, which
Great
is
too.
Free Will,
Yep.
you know. And then another classic iconic, I mean, especially the drumming here. He does a lot of stuff with the timpani. It's excellent. And now I get into something, towards the middle of the 70s, because I'm a little bit, we're talking about, Hemispheres, which has probably the longest songs of a lot of any Rush album. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong with the length of the songs, but I happen to like how they build. And this song, The Trees,
Yeah.
is a song that slowly builds and gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Love this song.
It's yeah, really nice. It's kind of a
My one disappointment, they only talk about maples and oaks. What about the pines and what about the ash and cherry and all those other
and
types
the
of trees?
large,
The large.
the large. But along the same lines from the same album, also right after this, I have a similar song, La Villa Strangiato.
Oh,
I hope
love
I'm
it.
saying that
Yeah.
right. Another gentle song that just
Yeah.
goes its own way. Let me go to the middle of the song a little bit so you can hear a little bit of the middle. See the difference between how we started and where we end up? That's the beauty of Rush
Yeah.
right there. So after that on the list, I have go back to Fly By Night.
Okay.
And this is another song that, like I said, it gets into the longer proggy type of song, anthem.
You
It
consider this
has
Prague, really? All
towards the
right.
middle. I think it's hard rock.
I think it's very heavy for the time, but
It's
you'll
also a
hear.
good palate cleanser.
Yeah. It's a great tune. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I just thought
and
it
then
was very heavy
I
for.
get more subtle after that because
Right.
I want because we did something loud and bombastic. Now let's do something a little more subtle from Moving Pictures. Let's go do Witch Hunt. If you're familiar
Oh
with
yeah.
that song, so it starts out really quiet, but it has like this plodding guitar that goes through it. It's just
Yeah.
you almost want you almost expect to see like witches flying in the sky with
See,
when
this is why I love moving pictures. Even so, after Tom Sawyer, I love
yeah.
the rest of the album.
Yeah, the rest of the
Even
album is
even the
really good.
deeper tracks are wonderful. Camera Eye is a great tune.
Camera Eyes is also another
Yeah.
long track. It was between this and Camera Eyes. I wasn't sure, but Witch
Right.
Hunt just had more. It just had more of a story to it. I think for me,
Hmm.
at least for me, at least. After that, then I moved back again to their more, because that had some sort of heavy rock plodding guitar, and then another transitional song from 2112, Something for Nothing.
Okay.
And on the same album, Passage to Bangkok.
I love this song.
Great song.
I
Great
got to
song.
tell you though, I like the live version better. Yeah. Yeah, I think.
I don't listen to a lot of live albums, unfortunately.
Well, this
I listen to a lot of live Jethro Tull, but not a
right,
lot of live
but
Rush.
oh, you got to check it out. Now, this
Yeah.
song on Exit Stage Left, their second live album, this is
Yes.
on, and it's really good.
Oh, okay. So you think it's better in the live version than it is in the studio?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Another uh, song after this, because we were getting into the longer songs at this sort of in the middle of my list here. I decided to say, all right, well, what's a really long song that I enjoy as well that I think has a good quality, and that's Xanadu. If you're familiar with it, I'll get to the
Oh,
middle of the song.
gee, am I familiar with Xanadu? Yeah,
It's
I am. Love it.
very atmospheric, and then it's got some terrific riffs here.
Pardon me while I go dine on some honeydew.
Yep, yep. Also from the same album, Madrigal,
Okay.
which is a little quieter, a little more easygoing. It sort of, because we have that storm at the end of Xanadu. Here you have something a little bit more sedate. And after that, I go into another long song, Jacob's Ladder. This is
Okay.
from
Permanent Waves.
Permanent Waves. Oh, wait. Nope, sorry. Whoa. See, I knew I'd mess up the backgrounds. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, so this one's also a really nice song. Really enjoy it. But at this point, once we get towards Signals and beyond Signals, it starts moving, like I said, towards the 80s. And there's a lot more keyboards involved
Right.
as well. So my next song on the list, Analog Kid from Signals.
Great tune. Yeah.
This is like one of the best songs on this album. Now where can
Yep.
I can't even find it now. I had it. I don't know what. Oh, here it goes. Okay. Great song. And after that, I think I moved on. I looked at another album, which was Grace Under Pressure. And there was only one song really on that album I liked, called Kid Gloves.
Okay.
I enjoyed that. The rest of the album, it didn't move me as much.
Okay.
But
Well,
this song I thought was pretty good.
I have a few from Grace Under Pressure, and I'll explain when it's my
Okay.
turn.
All right, great. I'm getting close to the end. So after this, I went to this album, Hold Your Fire, which has basically I think this is when they reach their commercial peak, not their best album by any stretch of the imagination, but basically this is when people who weren't Rush fans started to like Rush, mainly for this song, also because Amy Mann is singing on it. Time
Okay.
Stands Still. Very easy to identify, and it was on the radio all over the place.
Yeah.
There's still a great rock song on this
Oh,
album.
this is a
Okay, Joe.
great song.
Force 10. Great
Yeah.
song. Wonderful to play after the popular stuff. You get
Yep.
this dramatic, you know. Let me get to the middle of the song.
Excellent song.
And you notice the sound of this does not sound dated. A lot of 80s stuff sounds dated. Hold Your Fire holds up well. I mean, even though it's got some electronic in the keyboards that are recognizable to the era, it's the drumming that saves it most of the time. Because you knew if a band like, the Scorpions was doing it, it would be like, all digital shit. After this, Presto. This is
Okay.
from Presto. This is my favorite song on Presto, Chain Lightning. It
Okay.
gives a hint of the old Rush because they were kind of trying different things out at this stage. And Presto just had enough in it to make me like it. And of course, the last album. I don't know if I even have the picture. I don't think I have the picture, but Test for Echo.
Okay.
So Test for Echo is the last album in this long discography that I considered. And the first track, it still has reach, but I liked even better the other song from this album, Limbo. And that's the last song on my playlist. 24 of my favorite Rush songs.
Okay.
Listen to that bass.
Oh, he's an excellent bassist.
Yeah.
I love all of his bass work. Some
So
people complain about that his voice is an acquired taste, but I would never say that about his bass playing. And Dave
you know,
Mustaine, you're a knucklehead for saying that no bass player is a good bass player, because
most rhythm
Getty proves you
guitarists,
wrong.
yeah,
What?
most rhythm guitarists have it out for the bass player. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. All right.
And
So
that's it. Those are my picks.
okay, and no encores, or those are just implied encores.
Implied encores,
Okay.
I mean, if I was going to do an implied encore, I definitely probably play Subdivisions again and Fly By Night again as an encore.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do for mine is I'm going to show you my Spotify playlist, and
Okay, you're going to do it
however,
immediately.
I'm not going to show it until about the fifth or sixth song because I don't want to give it away because the
That's what I
first
was doing.
yeah the first 5 or 6 songs are right there on the screen, so you gave me an idea, which is a good one.
Okay.
So we have some similarities, and then there are some songs that I play I have in my set list that you don't have. Now, the way I structured it, I did 2 sets, 10 songs each, about 55 minutes per set, and then there's an encore. And then we had a late addition to the encore, which I thought the encore was a little lacking. So I literally added it before you dialed in.
Did you
So
put live tracks in?
only one.
Okay. Okay.
Only one. And I think you know which one that one is.
Yeah.
So okay, my first song, I and also let me clarify. My dream set list covers up to Grace Under Pressure. Now that is 1984. Right before I went to SUNY New Paltz and started to hear some of these songs on the local radio station WPDH. Some of my friends up in the Hudson Valley know that station very well.
Hmm.
So okay, so my first song, and this song is actually was the opening song the time that I saw them. It was when they played Moving Pictures in its entirety, but they did not open with a Moving Pictures song. They
Oh,
opened with a song off of Permanent Waves, Spirit of Radio.
nice.
Okay, number 2 off of Fly By Night. Um, Again, a song that we were talking about. We didn't know if it was prog or hard rock. I think it's very heavy. Anthem.
It is. It
I,
is.
I
I'm
love
incorrect.
Anthem. Number 3 is a song off of Grace Under Pressure, Distant Early Warning. That was the first song I heard off of that album on that station, WPDH, out of Poughkeepsie, New York.
Good song. Good song.
Yep. Okay. Number 4, title track off of Farewell to Kings.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So now number 5, I think I'm just going to go ahead and share at this point.
Sure.
Okay. Number 5, a song you didn't mention on Moving Pictures, Vital Signs.
Vital Signs. Another good song, but it's
Yes,
like I could have picked that whole album. I could have like just pulled everything off of it, but you know
right.
what? I wanted to save space for others. Otherwise, I'd have a 50 track
No,
set.
I quite agreed. Yeah. Number 6, Jacob's Ladder, which
That
you
almost
mentioned.
made my list.
Yes,
Yeah,
so I didn't do any very long
did
epics.
make
I
my list
did
actually.
some mini epics. So Jacob's Ladder is there. Number 7, off of Signals, Analog Kid, which you
Analog Kid,
mentioned.
great album,
Yep.
great song.
Okay. Number 8, You mentioned this one as well, La Villa Strangiato.
Yep.
Love this song. Number 9,
Passage to
Passage to
Bang.
Bangkok.
The live version. Yes.
Yes, yes, I had to have the live
Now
version.
I've got it. Now I've got to listen to the live version and see if
Yes,
I
it's
like it
really
better.
good. Okay, so 10 is going to be the finale of the first set. Closer to the Heart, Farewell to Kings.
Yep.
Okay, so for my to start the second set, you started your concert with YYZ. I started the second set with YYZ.
Okay.
Okay, then I went back to Grace Under Pressure for another great tune, Red Sector A. Yeah, I'm just gonna play a little snippet from
Play a little
this.
bit of that.
Yeah, I love this.
Cool.
Da 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 da. Love that. So genius. These guys are geniuses.
Yes, they are. They definitely
Okay,
knew how to create a song.
so then I pull one more song off of Grace Under Pressure, The Body Electric. Okay, then we go to an all-time favorite of mine off of the album Caress of Steel, Bastille Day.
Oh, really?
Love this song.
Yeah, I did never got I didn't get into that song that much. Actually, the first
Well,
part of
listen
the
to this.
album's like
I just love this riff in the beginning. This is amazing riffage by Alex Lifeson.
yep. No, it's good. This was when they were still kind of doing the Zeppelinish kind of
Yep, yep.
stuff. Um, you know, probably I need to hear the whole song. I probably didn't hear the whole thing when I was listening to it, but
Yeah, definitely hear it again. Yeah.
I will listen
Okay,
to it
so
again.
number 5, this is a really nice obscure track off of Hemispheres, Circumstances.
Very good. Yeah, it is a good song.
Yes,
Circumstances, it's good. I like the longer songs on Hemispheres only
right.
because they just tell there's just so much more in them.
Well, I'm trying to fit as much as possible. That's why I picked some of their shorter
Right.
tunes. But I do have a few longer ones, but we'll get to those.
Okay.
So number number 6 in the set. This is another obscure tune off of the first album, In the Mood. I love In the Mood.
Play a little
Let's
bit. Can you play a little bit?
sure.
Nice riff.
Nice cowbell there.
Cowbell. What a cowbell.
It's probably
Could almost
probably
be BTO, if you don't
well,
tell anybody who it is.
yeah, it's either that or early Whitesnake with the
Yeah. Yeah,
with the
early white.
sex and the love in there,
Yep.
which Rush didn't do too much of that, especially after Neil joined and he gave them this catalog of great lyrics, very poetic.
Yep.
Okay, so number 7, song that you mentioned off of Hemispheres, The Trees.
The trees. Great
Just the
song.
trees, Johnny. What's that
Not,
reference from?
not the shrubs.
No, Seinfeld.
Si-
Just the trees, Johnny.
Just the trees. I
Yep,
don't have Seinfeld in my brain as much as you. I'm
yep. Okay, so number 8. This is a very well-known song off of Permanent Waves. I gave it away. Duh. Free Will.
Free Will.
Okay.
Excellent. Great classic theme.
And
Uh-huh.
I'm winding up my second set. Next song, a song that I love off of Moving Pictures, Red Barchetta.
Red Barchetta was in consideration
Yep, I
on that one.
had to have it. And then my finale of the second set, which you mentioned also, Xanadu.
Xanadu.
Yep,
Excellent. Great song.
yes,
I could listen to that one over and over, Xanadu. It just has so much there's so much in it.
right,
And there's a lot of, majesty and
right. So we originally had 3 encore songs. Uh,
okay.
we are going to. I expanded it to four encore songs.
Okay.
I had to. So the first song was always there, Limelight.
Limelight.
Yes.
Good.
So
That's actually places a good encore. You know what? I wasn't thinking when I built my playlist about encores or not.
right.
I was just thinking of, all right, what do I want to hear them play if they're on stage?
Okay. All
You
right.
know.
Second song. This was a song that I added about 10 minutes before we signed on for this recording. Uh, and it's off of Fly By Night by Tor and the Snow Dog.
Oh, okay. That's an obscure one.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
obscure, but it's a great song. It
it's a good
almost
song.
it almost starts out sounding like a Beach Boys type of song in the very beginning, and then it goes off in a more proggy direction.
Right. No,
Yeah,
that is a good song.
yeah,
I felt, the reason I probably wouldn't include that in a set list is because it's so different compared to the other songs on that album in that
right,
and during that Rush era that it almost seems like an oddball
right.
that they kind of experimented and said, "All right, well, let's do this one." And I said, "You know what? There are better songs that I wanted to hear."
Okay, so next, so there's two more. This one you mentioned, Subdivisions.
Subdivisions, classic.
Yep, and the last one you mentioned as well, Working Man.
Working Man.
So now when I saw them, uh,
You
I
know,
was it
we
two.
didn't plan this, Jack, but we both came up with exactly 24 tracks.
Okay, yeah, wow, interesting. Yep, nope, that wasn't planned. In fact, it would have been 23 for me had I not added Bytor and the Snow Dog at the
Snow Dog,
last minute.
right, right.
But Working Man, when they played it on stage, um,
Yeah.
basically they played it. They did a reggae introduction as opposed to their normal introduction. Yeah, it was quite
Yeah,
interesting.
they've been known to stick some reggae in some songs.
Yeah.
I can't think of the top of my head, but I know that there's one or two Rush songs where they actually add some reggae in the middle
So
of the song.
so what I did was I just I switched to yours quickly. So we'll just
Okay,
go through it once again.
sure.
YYZ, Fly By Night, Closer to the Heart, Subdivisions, Limelight, Spirit of Radio, Working Man, Free Will, The Trees, La Villa, Anthem, Witch Hunt. So we had quite a bit of similarity here.
Yeah, we had quite a bit of overlap. I'd say about
Something for Nothing,
yeah, at
Passage to
least a third, if not more,
yeah,
overlap.
Passage to Bangkok, Xanadu, Madrigal, Jacob's Ladder, Analog Kid, Kid Gloves. Okay, I didn't have that one. Time Stands Still, Force 10. I love this. I love that song, but
Yeah,
I couldn't have it because I didn't. I only picked up until Grace Under
right.
Pressure.
Yeah, you kept it
Chain
to the
Lightning, Test for Echo, and Limbo.
yep.
All right, and then mine. I'm not even going to read them off. I'm just going to go through this slowly. Get a good look, everybody. And
Yeah, we
that's
should.
that.
Yeah, I wish there was a way we could put the link up on screen or something. Well, like it is sort of there
Yeah,
at the
well,
top.
you know what? People who have Spotify, they can just look this up, Rush Dream Setlist, and it can be found. So
Okay, great.
I will stop sharing. So any other Rush stories that you have in the next few minutes?
Just to say that there is a book out, My Effin' Life. I
Mm,
think
yes.
and you should check. It was a very well reviewed book. I thumbed through it. I didn't read it, but it goes into you know a lot of stuff that Geddy Lee, his whole how he got into the band, what they ended up doing. They
There
didn't
goes
live
your
the
red
typical.
barchetta. I hear it.
Yeah, they didn't do the rock star thing like you had mentioned.
Right.
They were real sedate compared to, let's say, Zeppelin or even Van Halen or any of the bands from the early '80s that were catching on in heavy rock. So Interesting read.
All right, that's cool. Like a dope. I wish I had. It's still sitting in my car, but I had bought a book at a store. Uh, that Martin Popoff had one of his Rush books. I can't think of the
Oh,
name of it, but it's the book that goes through every album. There's like a page or two for every album, and he's got like a whole paragraph about each album, and it's really good.
really? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
really nice.
If you if
Maybe
you if you remember the name of the book, let me
yes,
know. It's probably sitting in my library. I'll pick it up and I'll check it out.
yep. Or I could lend it to you, one or the other.
Or you can lend it to me next time you see me. I'd love
But
to read
gotta have it back
his
though.
little take on all
Yep,
these different Rush albums and what he didn't like. That's
yep.
always interesting with Martin. You figure out you kind of predict, yeah, this is great. I like this. What surprises me is the stuff he doesn't like.
Right. Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's legendary. But
Yeah,
I also bought a Kiss book, Kiss at 50, Martin book
really.
that's really good. But I haven't really had the time to like really thoroughly go through it and read it. Uh, Maybe what I'll do is I'll do an episode where I talk about both the Rush and the Kiss book.
I'm waiting for that first Kiss hologram show. They have it. It's just a matter of them like putting it out there
Well, what
and
do you
saying,
think of them selling their catalog?
"Oh, I think they already did.
Yes. Yes.
They did sell their catalog. That's
With it, yeah. I mean, so it's not to really change the subject too much, although Kiss and Rush, they were joined at the hip at points in the 70s when they toured together.
yeah,
And
yeah, that's
and
true.
Gene used to poke fun at them for staying in their rooms. And they were more, whereas Kiss were more partiers and they didn't take their music very serious. Rush, I bet they sat in their rooms and they were always thinking up new chord progressions and
Yeah,
music.
they were choir boys. They
Yeah,
were workaholics when it came to especially both Neil and Leaf. They were basically building these songs and compositions all the time. They
but
weren't doing the babes and cocaine every night
but
like
they
Gene
they did a
Simmons.
they did a fantastic job. They have an amazing body of work.
Great legacy.
Yes, yes,
Shame they're
that's
not American, but that's okay.
yeah.
We'll take them, Canadian or not.
So uh, want to talk about your book really quick?
Oh, sure. Hold on. Here we go. Pop. Whoop. So, songs in stuck in my head is a power pop book. It's hard to falling
Yeah.
apart here, but that's a book on my site. If you want to look at a lot of reviews, there's like over 400 reviews in the book. You can order it either digitally on Amazon or you could get the hard copy straight from me. And if
Can
you
you get
order
it
it,
off of? Is there a link on Power Popaholic?
there's a link in the right hand column of the site. There is a little ad. You click on that, and you will get
Perfect.
um, and you will have access to buy a hard copy. And special for your audience, Jack, if they request it, I will sign a copy for them, and free of charge. There you go.
Okay. All right. And maybe they'll get a business card. Ooh.
Yeah, and we can add a business card,
Yeah.
for this site as well.
Yeah. All right.
All or
Okay.
nada.
So
That's what it is. You get all of us or nada.
yeah. Last question. Have
Sure.
you ever seen Rush?
I wish I did. I never got a
Oh,
chance to
okay.
see Rush when they were in Nassau Coliseum. I was supposed to see them at one point, and it never happened.
Okay. Uh,
So
I
unfortunately,
actually saw them, I think it was 2008. And funny thing about that concert, so uh,
yeah.
that little backstory, Aaron and I belong to the same Oddfellow Lodge. And that day, it was probably the hottest day of the year. It was mid-July. It was like 101 degrees that day. A whole bunch of us helped. So our buddy Dominic, is
Oh
a
my goodness.
printer, and he printed this. Uh, what the hell is it? This um,
Business card.
business card. Thank you. Uh, too many of these.
I
But
could use
yeah.
one
So
now.
is a printer, and he printed that business card, and we were actually helping him move that day. Uh,
Oh, that was the moving day.
that was the moving day,
Oh,
so
wow.
yes, it was
Okay. I didn't
hot
know he
as
had a
hell.
concert then.
Yeah, it was hot as balls that day. Uh, I got done, jumped in the pool, took a shower, and then headed right to Jones Beach for that show that night. Fortunately, Jones Beach is right on the water, so it was a little cooler, once the
Right.
sun had gone down.
Yeah, you get a little breeze.
Yes, I mean, I was not shaded because I was at the very end of the orchestra, but at least it cooled down a bit, and it was a great show. They played for like close to 3 hours. Now,
Wow.
I at that time it was the most I ever spent on a concert, like 110, but it was worth every penny. That's how good they were.
Well, yeah, I'm sure, and especially if if you can't see him anymore,
Right?
that's
Yeah.
important. I know people. I knew a couple of friends of mine who saw Tom Petty's last concert in Queens.
Hmm.
Where the tennis courts are over there.
Yep. Yeah.
And
Forest Hills Tennis Center.
Forest Hills, yeah, and that was his last concert. And
Wow.
these guys were like, maybe we shouldn't go. Maybe I'm like, let's go see Tom Petty.
Yeah.
They kind of reluctantly went, and it turned out to be his last concert ever.
Wow.
So now if you want to see Tom Petty, you gotta have to find a cover band.
So, yeah, so going back to my last dream set list, I talked about a band called Manowar, and I was debating if I want to spend $700 to see them in Brooklyn because it's their only area appearance. But
Listen, if you want to talk about, expensive concerts, a band that I always wanted to see my whole life and I never got to see is playing at Madison Square Garden. ELO is playing their last show, so to speak, their last tour. A ticket in the back boondocks of the stadium is $275.
okay, that's a
Okay.
little more doable than
Yeah, I mean,
700.
but that's
Yeah,
all. I mean, I'd still need,
yeah,
binoculars to see a
yeah.
spec on the
Right.
stage with that
Well,
much money.
you see, if I were a big fan, I would probably splurge, but I'm not a huge fan of ELO. But
I'm a big fan, but when
power
it
to
comes
those who
when it
go
comes
see
to
them.
concerts,
Yeah,
I'm very much more in support of local artists,
right.
artists that aren't like these big headliners that need support, that want to
Yes.
grow a career. So I'm more apt to say I'm going to spend $30 to go to see like a band like Mike Viola, who I saw at my father's place, than I am going to go to Madison Square Garden and see a
Right.
big arena show. It's just
Right.
that's just the way I am.
Okay. That's cool. I do have a few concerts coming up. Early May, I'm going to see Saxon and Uriah Heep. That's going to be in Patchogue. Can't wait for that show.
Yeah,
Uh,
Uriah Heep should be good.
yeah, yeah, that's actually the main band I'm going to see, Uriah Heep.
Mhm.
But also June 2nd at Mulcahy's, a band that I love, Symphony X is playing there.
Oh, they're playing at Mulcahy's.
They are.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay.
Interesting.
Yes. Symphony
Okay.
X, you gave me. I listened to all their stuff. I
All
like them.
right.
So I
Okay.
wouldn't mind seeing them with you.
All
What is that
right.
in June?
June 2nd. Yeah.
Count me in, man.
Okay. Then we'll
Now it's
talk.
on tape. I can't get out of it.
Yep. We'll talk off camera. We'll set it up. All right.
All right. Sounds
Trying to
good.
talk a few more into coming with me. So if you're in the Long Island area, come on down. We'd love to, meet up with you. But
Yeah, Symphony X sounds like fun.
yes. So in any event, I'm going to wrap this up. Say thank you for watching. This is Jack Toledano with my very special guest, Aaron Kupferberg. Thank you for being here, Aaron.
Thank you for having me, Jack. Let's do
As
another
always,
playlist soon.
okay. Um, and if you like what I do, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Please tell others about me. I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. And have a good night, all.
Good
Bye.
night. Bye.